Like no editing.
Exactly.
Whoa. Ready?
What's up, guys? Yeah, start it up.
Start now. You got it.
Welcome to the October Overtake Diaries. It is October.
It is October still.
Halloween.
Still,
It's Halloween.
technically.
I don't know if you could
Yeah,
tell.
if you didn't notice, this isn't what we typically wear all day long.
Speak for yourself.
I think you probably guessed what we are, but Doug, what are you?
Well, dodgeball, and I'm pretty
me with
sure. I'm definitely Glenn, just because Glenn is the only one that wears glasses.
Oh, that's fair.
That's fair.
But Steve the Pirate's definitely my favorite.
Yes.
But he never
Everybody's.
wears this costume.
And Owen.
I'm Bugs Bunny.
Well, not very clear. Where are the ears, Owen?
I don't own any ears.
And I'm Saitama, One Punch Man, obviously. The only outfit that makes sense for me. Okay, we've got a lot to talk about, actually, and we've got 28 minutes to do it. So, the big news, STI reveal.
Huge news.
Yep, so we threw together a video yesterday morning. That feels like a week ago, but it was first thing
2
yesterday
days
morning.
ago.
Was it 2 days?
Yeah. Wednesday morning.
They revealed a live session where, as we talked about, they didn't reveal really anything at all, especially on the Concept B.
Right.
And then a lot of the information's been flowing out over the last 48 hours. We did a video, which I'll put a link for up here. You guys can check out. It's been getting really good views. I think people are kind of starved for information on this particular car. So I've talked a lot about it. Doug as well. Owen, how about you kind of give us a little recap of things?
It's return to form, at least on the surface level, it's return to form for Subaru of hatch STIs being, it's fine, hatch STIs being based off of Impreza or Crosstrek platforms. So
That is the biggest misconception I keep seeing.
absolutely the biggest misconception.
Is it like a generational thing? Does the
It could be, the VA guys, like if the younger just getting into Subaru, they don't know that that's what it used to be, but I keep seeing so many comments of, it's just a Crosstrek with a turbo engine, or a Crosstrek with a 6-speed, and it's, yeah, but so you could say the same thing about a 2014 STI, it's just an Impreza with a turbo. So it's like,
Or really any car manufacturer's high trim. What's an M3? It's a 3 Series.
it's a 3 Series. Yeah.
Exactly. And I think for production's sake, it makes total sense because I was just doing the Flat Irons podcast with John yesterday, and he made a great point where you're going to have one assembly line with all of these Imprezas, and then this one takes a right turn to become, potentially this and WRX or an STI or whatever it may be, and that just keeps costs down. So that's a good thing for everyone.
Absolutely.
Because the other biggest complaint is, since we didn't get a price point, what is the cost going to be on it? Is it going to be 45, 55, 65, or more? What do you guys think?
Well, I think you saw something that was going to say, that said it was what, the equivalent of 45,000
I
US in
think
Japan is
it
what
was,
they were
yeah, it was
targeting.
Justin or Art. So, I mean, for Japan, if it's 45, or I was talking with John yesterday, what does that mean for us in the US if they decide to bring it to the US after tax, tariff, shipping, and all that?
I would guess 55 to 60.
I'm going
After
50 to 55.
Yeah.
Right, I'm hoping for as low as possible, but
Of course.
you got to be realistic. I mean, right now, if you wanted to go buy a VB WRX, they're 40,
Mid-30s,
like, well, a high
mid to
trim
high
line's
30s.
like
Oh, okay.
42-ish,
Yeah.
maybe 40, 42, and then that's before tax, title, license,
Yeah,
and
I
all the
suppose.
tax. So,
And my thought goes to, well, the STI is such a higher trim level, but in this case, it's not necessarily that much more. I mean, you're still getting the STI 6-speed versus the WRX 6-speed. Allegedly, you're getting the FA24 probably tuned up, but I doubt it's going to have forged internals. People are talking about that, and I just don't think that's going to happen. But really, and the big brake kit, I suppose you get 6 spots, so paying another 6 to 7 grand, I see that on top of the WRX, which puts it in that low 50s in my head.
Yeah.
that's,
I guess we could talk a little bit about the difference in the drivetrain of at least what we suspect the STI will have versus the current WRXs. I mean, I would love to see an FA24. I think that motor is a great platform. Obviously, we've seen they're very capable, but limited. I think the limiting factor in the stock setup is fueling.
Yes.
So it'd be cool if the STI came out and had, we were chatting about this, like an STI fuel pump and maybe bigger direct injectors.
Yeah.
So that it wouldn't be limited there. And I think then they could make a factory car that makes 350, 400, because it seems like the VB as it is now is limited to about 380 to
Right.
run out of fueling.
One thing that John said during our podcast was just kind of made me think about European offerings. If you get a BMW or an Audi, it seems like you can take it straight to the tuner and get another 100 horsepower really easily. And Subaru, it's never been like that. You get another 20 to 30 horsepower with like an intake and a retune and a boost controller.
The VBs came close.
But that's exactly what we're getting at, is all of a sudden you can take what we would consider probably a detuned engine and get it up to 400 really easily. So why would Subaru do that for a flagship model? Yeah, it kinda stinks.
Reliability is kind of the only reason I can think of, and variability of fuels and whatever.
Yeah.
But
Well, it seems like the reliability of the FA is there as opposed to an EJ25. So we'll see. There's no details on the engine quite yet, but I just don't see how that car could have anything else besides.
I mean,
unless they bring in some hybrid system.
right, which there was some rumors
There
of,
is,
but I mean, the Impreza, that chassis that it's based off of, that chassis doesn't come with an EJ, so all of its mounting locations and provisions aren't going to be for an EJ. It makes sense that it's an FA platform.
Yeah.
And why wouldn't they do FA24?
I think so. So let's talk.
It's got a hood scoop, so it's got to have an air cooler.
Right. Let's talk transmission then, because early on, nobody knew what it was going to receive. I think the day before when they did the live session, I was convinced it was going to be a CVT or auto, the what do they call it?
Super
performance transmission.
Exactly. And that's what's in like the Lavorg STI. And for the Japanese market, it makes total sense. I think the Lavorg as a car with that transmission is exactly what that enthusiast group or just the everyday driver is asking for there. Here, we want the 6-speed. And so one of the biggest indications to me that we could possibly get the stateside is the fact that it had a 6-speed with DCCD with a manual e-brake.
Right.
So can we talk about the trans a little bit?
Yeah, I'm assuming it's going to be just the same STI transmission that we've had from, 04 to 21.
Right, it makes sense. It bolts right up.
Bolts right up to the FA. It's a proven stout gearbox.
Yeah, I think JM Auto, they took their shop VB. Yeah. They put a STI 6-speed in it. The only thing that they weren't able to take over was the DCCD controller, just because there wasn't wiring for it.
And you can do a standalone DCCD controller too.
Right. Wasn't that crazy? Just from 04, not only can you go backwards into GC stuff, but you can go forwards and it fits FA. And it only makes sense that if there is an FA24 and it's an STI, they're not going to use the BBWRX 6-speed. So they're kind of, it's the parts bin thing that keeps coming up. Is it seems like they just reached into 100 bins and then made this Frankenstein.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's got like Type RA calipers because they're silver, which I guess the Series White also had, right?
Yeah.
That had the silver.
The 6 pots.
Brembo 6 pots.
Yep.
And it looks like it has VA STI wheels, except they look a little more wide.
Yeah, they probably, that could just be for the concept.
Yeah, I mean, they're BBS, they look like them.
Yeah.
You got chassis, obviously, off of the Impreza / Crosstrek. They have the seats, which are Recaro podiums. What they put in the S210. It's all just different parts of different things that they've already made, which we know if you're making a kit for something, let's use the bolts that we already have, or this uses another part we already have. And
the most important thing to me is it's the best of everything. The STI transmission is the best version. The 6-pot calipers are the best version. The FA24 is the best engine. So it really is like, I keep saying this, it's everything we asked for. So if you're out there, if you're one of the naysayers and negative commenters, it's kind of insane. Like, what else did you want? We got it all. I mean, we didn't get it yet because it hasn't been...
It hasn't been confirmed to be coming here. We haven't actually heard any details for sure. We don't know that it has an FA24. We don't know for sure that it's an STI gearbox. I can only assume so because I don't think...
What other
transmission has DCCD? They're not going to reverse engineer or like redesign the VB 6-speed to put that in there.
Assumptions never gotten anyone in trouble ever, so I think we should just keep assuming.
I think you're right.
And then we'll get it all. But man, we are going to have an egg on our face when this thing doesn't get put into production or doesn't get released in the US. So yeah, it's a lot of wishful thinking right now.
Yeah.
Okay, some other topics. We talked about Japan a little bit during that conversation. I was just there, dressed in this exact same outfit, actually terrorizing Tokyo. I've got footage coming from that, and just kind of a highlight of Liberal Auto, or Liberal Aero. I stopped through and hung out with Yasu, and he introduced me to some STI influencers there. So you guys might have seen a blue GD STI owned by Utah on our pages. Really cool car. He's running Overtake parts now, and he's the first official sponsored Japanese driver. So that's kind of cool. But I'll have footage coming from that trip eventually. While I was gone, you guys were busy. Hood Strut Group Buy?
Yeah, we had a Hood Strut Group Buy. That was our second Group Buy here, but I would say just as, if not more successful than our first Group Buy.
I think by numbers it was more.
I
By
think
number,
just,
right?
yeah, it just raised the, well, one, price point was obviously lower, so that helps, you know, anyone looking to spend, you know, it was $99, $95?
95.
So that was awesome price point. And then as well as being 5 new SKUs. So it was GD, SG Forester, ZN6, and ZN8 BRZ86,
Yep.
and then also GRGV. So
Yeah, and it's kind of proof, just listing those models off, that we are catering to things outside of V8 and VB. Yeah, that's probably one of our, at least early on, biggest asks of, are you going to be doing BRZ stuff? Are you going to be doing SG Forester, Crosstrek, or whatever? And we are expanding, and that's, you know, proof of it.
right.
So I think they were met with really good reception. What were the best sales model-wise?
I believe it was GD.
I think
GD.
GD
Yeah.
was, and then second was, it was either BRZ or SG.
Yeah.
Like first gen BRZ. No,
No,
not first gen BRZ.
second gen.
Second
If
gen.
you combine the two BRZ gens, it probably was equal to GD. GD just beat it out though.
Which is really cool for us to see Overtake on those models. And I'm just excited for next season when we go to all the Subi events. I guarantee we're going to be seeing a lot more of these parts in circulation, which is really cool. So we're just expanding offerings, and we'll kind of get into more stuff like radiator hoses and talk about those. But I think, yeah, successful group buy. Maybe we should touch on group buys a little bit for people that don't necessarily know what they are, because this, as you said, was the second one, but the second one of many.
Right.
So we'll have a group buy coming up pretty soon, maybe once a month in a perfect world. That may or may not work out, but describe.
Yeah, our
group buys.
group buy is essentially when we, I guess I don't know how we decide if a product is worthy of the group buy, but larger product releases like this, if it has multiple fitments or if we know it's going to be a popular product, we will do an introductory group buy where we have people sign up, and the more people that sign up, the more we lower the price, the more we discount it, which we need to reevaluate our levels, the number of people that sign up, because we have blown by it.
Yeah, with a new company like ours, you never know. It's really hard because there's no analytics. You can't really predict how well things are going to sell, and that's a tough thing. Maybe you could talk about with production, because
Yeah.
how many of something do you make? Do you make 50 or do you make 500?
Right.
And for a group buy, how do you sell it? Because it might be 50, it might be 500, and then the price scaling shifts. But I think what we've learned from the first two is we gotta elevate the price tiers a little bit, so that
And within the first 2 hours, we're like already hitting top discount, which is obviously awesome, and it's great to see the support. But you know, we had to be like, okay, maybe this should have been more than 25
Yeah, make
units.
it a challenge. Because the idea of having those pricing tiers is you guys will go out and tell your friends, hey, if you sign up to do this as well as me, they're going to lower the price even more if we can just stack that up. So we want to spread the word of mouth there.
Right,
but-
one guy tells 2, and then those 2 guys tell 2 each, and now you got 4.
Wait, our group
We're
has a
at the
pyramid
top.
scheme? Oh no, I just figured this out. So, what is really the most important thing is it's kind of like almost like a sponsorship system where we give you a discount and you advertise for us. And in a group buy, we're giving up to 35% off. So your responsibility, if you want to see it that way, is get the group buy out to as many people as possible, let them know so that everyone can get in. You get your maximum discount, but so does your friend and 5 of their buddies, and that's good for us, it's good for you guys. It's a win-win system.
Yeah.
So next one, I don't know off the top of my head, but we'll get there probably, I don't know, November?
Probably the next few weeks, November sometime.
Our plan is, there's one coming, because if everything goes to plan,
Whoa,
and by the end of the year, we'll have another one for sure.
Okay, before we get off hood struts, any other fitments that we're going to be working on for those?
I'm currently working on a kit for GC.
Cool.
We're waiting on some sample struts to come in from our strut manufacturer. And then we have a list of other fitments we want to do. We've had a lot of requests for 05 to 09 Legacy and Outback, so that's one of the next ones, as well as Crosstrek. that has been a big one, both first and second gen. So
The Crosstracks didn't come with them, right?
they did not
At all.
Nope.
So, yeah, I mean, Subaru's kind of weird like that. It's not an across-the-board thing. What, like VA got them, VB,
VB got them.
GR,
GR did have them.
but really,
They were-
really low.
It was crazy low.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like a 52% increase or some
Yeah, upgrading
crazy
to
number.
ours.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the models just didn't get them, and even the newer stuff didn't get it, like the newest Crosstrack. So it's a great product. It's one of my personal favorites, and it fits across so many
Because you're always
platforms.
pulling engines.
Yeah.
So
And it stands to reason, yeah, if it's the newest Crosstrack, it'll fit the Concept B STI.
Probably.
So,
we're starting Concept B in 2027, 2028
Oh,
STI production
we're
already.
making a big push for it.
Yeah. Products
okay.
day one.
Shop cars, I want to talk because for us, the shop livery has been something that we see every day for the last like 6 weeks, but we
Yep.
technically did introduce it in October. We did the big reveal a few weeks ago to everyone else. And so you guys can hop on our YouTube page. We have a couple of videos that show it off. And yeah, they're just really cool. So I want to give some people shout outs for those builds where basically we filmed them coming together. We're releasing the episodes. We did a bit of a teaser release of what the vinyl looks like. And then we've done suspension and wheels. So BC Racing, we want to give them a special shout out. They sponsored the coilovers on those cars. They're awesome. Immediately after we installed them, we drove down to Chicago for SubiFest.
Yeah.
So that's a 16-hour round trip plus driving around town. Construction, bad Illinois roads, and those coilovers were awesome. At one point, I forgot I was on aftermarket suspension because they felt so nice.
Yeah, I agree.
You were in the VB.
I drove in the VB, and I didn't even, without knowing that they were in there, like, granted, I haven't driven the VB a ton, stock form, but it did not feel anything like my Forester feels on, like, subpar coilovers. My coilovers, I go over a bump, and I kind of clench it a little bit. I'm like, all right, what's going to happen to this? Those go over railroad tracks that I would take in my Forester and feel terrible, and that feels no problem.
Yeah.
They're awesome coilovers.
Yeah, and I could see us using them more often. I've used them in personal builds in the past, and whichever cars we get in the future, BC, they'll be on there.
Yeah, we got a secret, well, maybe not so secret shop car down there. That
We'll
need
mention at the
coilovers
end of
for.
this. Yes, and I could see them ending up on
Or
that.
some junkyard Forester coilovers. We'll see.
I think more. That's probably
About
It's within
it.
our
Yeah,
budget.
You're right. You're right.
A couple more shout outs on that build though. JWP, they got the cars in for an alignment like the day before the big trip,
Yeah,
so
it
that
was-
was awesome. Shout out to those guys. Their facility is great, and they knocked it out in like an hour.
Yeah, and they're like
done.
10 minutes away.
Yeah.
So,
SubiFest we talked about, that was kind of a prior month thing.
what about
but
GT Jesse and
yeah, I mean, there's so many people involved in that build. GT Jesse did the designs for that. We've given him a ton of shout outs. He's all over our social media that we post, so if you guys need any livery stuff done, it's out there.
and then Tin Pros did the wrap for us.
Yeah, exactly. It turned out really good. So
Awesome.
we're happy with everyone involved in that build, and we've got a couple more episodes yet that are going to be dropped. You guys can see how it came together. SubiFest Midwest, we wrapped that, and the only event left now is Florida.
Yeah, we got a month and a half or so, because that's December 13th.
Yeah.
I believe. So
I'm not even thinking about it. Month and a half is such a long time before
Yeah,
events.
we'll worry about it on like December 11th.
Yeah. But I think because it's the last event of the season, we're going to be probably filming it, maybe do like a road trip film. 3 of us are going to be there, and just show you guys what it's like going to one of the trips, what it's like there, and then end cap the season that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I'm
mean,
ready for events to be over.
it's going to be the first SubiFest Florida I've worked. So
Yeah.
maybe, like we talked about, a little trip to Lovebird Chicken.
Ooh.
We'll
Yeah,
see.
it's been a minute. It's been a minute. We'll deal with that. A couple product releases, isolator bushings.
Yeah.
Talk about new color.
Yeah, we have our isolator bushings. If you haven't seen them, just the little grommets and washers to go on the top mount intercooler. We released them a couple months ago in black and blue, and we had a lot of requests for red. So just the other day, we came out with the red version of those. There's not much more to talk about.
No, there's
No,
not. Just besides they're a really
Yeah.
popular item. They're a cool little piece.
They are. They've been way more popular than I expected them to be,
And
which
they're
is really cool.
$25. So
Yeah,
it's a
they're cheap.
huge.
The
huge-
last review I saw on our website is, I mean, we always knew people would buy them for aesthetic reasons, or if you like lost your original ones. But the last review said I took mine out and the OEM ones, and they separated into 2 pieces, like the top half
The rubber?
portion. Well, the rubber, but actually the metal piece had separated. Yeah, the rubber pieces all the time, or
Yeah.
they just get degraded. So, at the very least, they get corroded and they look really ugly. But apparently, they
Fall
can't
apart.
separate too.
Okay.
So yeah, those have been a hugely popular item, and they fit pretty much everything turbo, right? So There you go.
Yeah. As well as some
Radiator.
other stuff.
Yeah. Radiator hoses. We just put out some fitments yesterday.
Just yesterday, we came out with new radiator hose fitments for first and second gen Crosstrack,
What else?
2020 Plus, Outback XT, and Legacy XT.
Yep.
Subaru Ascent.
Yep.
And I think the first gen Crosstrack, there was some crossover with
Yeah, it's 12 to 16.
12 to
Impreza.
16 Impreza and
11
14 to 18.
11.
11 to 18 Forester 2.5.
Yeah.
You should have done the introduction video. I had to do about 24 takes yesterday to get all those fitments, and we still didn't. So yeah, I guess it helps when you develop all of them. So
Yeah.
radiator hoses are one of those things that we probably have the most fitments for of any other product. That's not universal stuff.
Yeah, I mean, the other one that has a lot of different fitments and we're working on more too is the cabin filter.
Right.
Those two products, we have almost all, certainly all enthusiast vehicles.
Yeah. And we know those aren't the most exciting parts, but for us, they're really good kind of baseline parts to have across all models because the big stuff doesn't necessarily keep the lights on. It's a lot of these little high volume things. So if you guys need either of those like maintenance type items, and that also includes gaskets, come to mind, those are good purchases that you can make on overtakeusa.com to support what we're doing. And then we're going to be releasing the bigger stuff, one of which we are going to show on this video. To give it a couple more minutes.
Okay, it's behind you.
It is behind me. But yeah, again, it's like not the most exciting release, but we appreciate that you guys are supporting us through purchasing those anyway. Well, it's next on the list, so why don't we talk about it? We've done VA WRX cast inlets, and so we're kind of gearing up for more inlet fitments. The next one that kind of made sense would be EJ.
EJ.
Absolutely.
Now, we wouldn't do a cast aluminum for that because it's just historically not been the go-to that you want.
There are cast inlets out there.
Do you want to talk a little bit about the inlet program for EJs?
Yeah. So EJs, there's kind of two fitments of inlet. And you can divide it. The easiest way to divide it up is just the metal manifold cars. So most STI as well as 02 to 07 WRX, 04 to 08 Forester XT, and then plastic manifolds. So the 05 to 09 Legacy as well as 08 to 14 WRX. Those are kind of the two fitments there. So we have silicone inlet coming out for that in both fitments. There we go.
There you go.
Black and red.
Walk it up to the ladies and gentlemen so they can see it.
You're fine. It's got a lid.
So that's the first little sneak preview. The nice thing is they're really durable, so if you drop them,
Yeah, when you drop it like that,
It
you get hair
won't
all
dent
over
because
it.
it's not metal.
This is my Vanna White impression here.
So I'm personally really excited about those because I've got a couple EJ engines. One's on a factory inlet, one's not, that I want to switch out for it, and I'm going to get one red, one black. A lot of people have been asking us about this ever since we released the VA cast version. When are you going to do EJ? It's been in production, or I guess engineering and development before production for how long now?
Like
Too long.
Too long?
almost a year.
Well,
Yeah.
let's just say this. I'm pretty sure the finished good part number for this is A102221
Yeah.
or 2. And now in our system, I was just making part numbers the other day. We're at A107.
700 something. Yeah.
So,
It is a really difficult part to design from scratch. It's something that is really a tight fit, and we wanted just to have the best version of what we can out on the market. You can't really reinvent the wheel because the space is so tight on that, but you can have really nice fittings, a really nice overall fit, the silicone at the highest quality, which I said in a video yesterday, we're becoming really known for the quality of our silicone product. And this is a really great representation of that. So we did an install. Admittedly, installing these is pretty tough because it's kind of scrunched all under the manifold.
It
But
fits well, but it's just the nature of
Exactly.
where it is in the car makes it difficult to install.
as far as the fitment itself, once it's done, it fits awesome. And I think it is going to become kind of the standard silicone inlet for EJs once people get these in their cars. And
I could see that happening.
because I've put in especially some older JDM ones that they're just a pain. Not only because of the nature of the install, but they just don't fit very well themselves. So we've kind of fixed the issues, made it the maximum size that you can for the best flow. And we'll have some comparison shots of like the factory inlet versus that, and you can see just how much better it is. As far as release, what are we thinking?
timeline-wise,
I think those are coming out next week.
Next week already?
Yeah.
Holy crap. Okay,
Yeah.
so if you're watching this video, save your next paycheck for an inlet. We're going to have them up on the website. Probably not a group buy on that since
No,
we
I
just
think
had
those are
one.
just going to be a.
Yeah, we'll throw them up on the website. You guys will be able to purchase them, and I guess we'll just be working on media and release stuff for now and around 1 week from today. Season closer, we can talk about that. We talked a little bit about events. So we had, at the beginning of this whole thing, a season opener, and then we had big plans to do a bunch of events, and somehow 6 months went like that.
Well, the largest issue/difficulty is with Subi events around the country. We have our tent and other show-related items that get shipped off to a different state. Takes roughly a week to get it there. We have the event. Takes roughly a week to get it back. So you're talking it's gone 2 weeks out of the month, like almost every month of the summer. It makes it really difficult to plan around.
Not to mention that we all have personal lives and we're so busy with so many other projects.
You guys have a personal life? I've just been working this whole time. Yeah, you're absolutely
really
right.
busy.
It's car events and shows are fun, but you do too many of them, and it's just like anything else. It becomes cumbersome, and especially if you're not getting to enjoy the shows as much, if you're working at it, you're at the merch booth the whole time, I'm walking around and talking and maybe doing some media, then it just becomes like a work day, right, on a Saturday, and then you're back to work on Monday. So they can be difficult. I think as we have more enthusiast staff here, we can put on more of the local events. But we had to do a season closer, and we wanted to work with another organization outside of here to really make it a big event. So we ended up working with Drive Cartel. If you guys don't know them, they're a huge local group. They put on some of the best events in the Minneapolis, St. Paul area, and they were gracious enough to agree to not only work with us, but do a lot of the heavy lifting. And so we had, I don't know, by the end of it, it's got to be 100 plus cars here.
Oh, easily.
Yeah.
There was some drone footage shots that you had reposted that was taken during the event, and that was only of the cars around the building. Not to mention, there's on the weekend, a business that has a lot, and that was completely packed, plus people parking on the street, parallel parking. So it
We're
was
talking
busy.
Subarus with overtake banners. We're talking supercars and like really high-end builds.
Yeah, it was a McLaren, Lambo, we had Yuki.
Yeah,
brought us-
RX-7, a lot of stance and VIP stuff. So a great variety, and that's what Drive Cartel's really good at bringing in. Like, we bring the Subaru crowd, and they kind of fill in the rest. We also did a trunk or treat thing. We did costume contest, all sorts of stuff. So it was a really good way to end the year. But you guys will see
season
plenty
year.
of footage of coming out of that. We put up one album, but I've got like 3 albums worth of pictures to post yet. So just hop on our Facebook for something like that. You guys will get to see it. Magnet submissions. I figure we talk about our popular magnet line. You guys know if you order directly from us, you get a custom magnet, one of 11, and we always like to expand those fitments every couple of months. So what are we doing now?
Yeah, well, we are currently taking submissions for our next drop of magnets. It's going to be, we're looking for VAs, so 15 to 21 STI and WRX. We've had a ton of great submissions right now. I think we're keeping those open through this weekend.
At least the weekend, yep.
So November 2nd is the last day to submit.
Yeah, I'll put a link in the description for this video. You guys can click on that if you have a VA, WRX, or STI. And then eventually we'll do other things, maybe once every 6 weeks kind of makes sense for different. Is that a lofty goal?
No, it's up to you guys.
Yeah.
You guys are running the submissions.
One thing to mention is it's not like a product that we create. It takes time for you to do the editing, to do the submission stuff, and then we buy those magnets and we give them away for free. So, technically it's a little loss every time we do that. So the more fitments we make, the harder it is. But it's our little thank you to you guys for purchasing directly from us. And then you can do a collect them all type thing.
Yeah.
All right, coming down to 30 seconds. Just some media that's coming up. Doug was teasing a car that we're going to be working on. We're going to put out a teaser clip for that early next week, and then hopefully episode 1 by the end of the week. It's kind of hard to stay on track sometimes with us, but that's what I'm envisioning. And then there's going to be a Q&A video that Justin and I filmed together, probably dropping next Tuesday. You guys are going to get to see that on our YouTube page. So just keep a lookout for that. And of course, if you're supporting what we're doing here, whoa, I didn't know it made a noise.
Yes, you did, because we got
Did I?
flatlined.
That's right. Okay. If you guys are supporting what we're doing here, just please follow at Overtake USA on all our social media platforms. Share things around with your friends, and just keep doing what you're doing. We'll keep doing what we're doing. I'd say that's a good way to end it.
Ooh,
Oh, that was
that
a
notepad
mess.
is rough.
Yeah, well, it's even rougher now because it's in 600
Oh
pieces.
gosh, this